I've got good news and bad news. The good news is Cube is the best card in all of Hearthstone. Yay, let's clap it up. The bad news is I just lied to you. Cube is a fun card, but it's not a good card. So we're just gonna jump right into today's deck guide because we need to talk about the Cube. I have another video that I will be planning on releasing just talking about this card itself and all of the bugs that are surrounding it. But yeah, Carnivorous Cubicle is absolutely busted in terms of it's bugged and it's not working properly, and unfortunately this has been a very frustrating release for me because all I wanted to do was to play with this card right here, and this is not going to be a video breaking down all of the bugs that are happening with Carnivorous Cubicle, but there is one bug in particular that I have to show you guys. Yum. Move myself here.
Alright. This has to be good, right?
Just watch.
Against this deck in particular, this has to be insane. Cuba Naresco wins the game.
So what happens if you end up taking a cube?
Okay, sure.
Very important question here.
This is another thing that does kind of suck about Cube, though, where it's like, I really want Reska to stick, but my opponent's never...
Yeah. But if my opponent would stop being an asshole and playing cards, the Cube doesn't summon anything.
Wait, what?
The Cube doesn't summon the minion if it's been mind controlled. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and skip to the end because what happens
Literally
when
has
their
the
turn
Reska
ends?
inside of it, but my opponent mind controlled it, and now it's not summoning the minion that's inside of it.
Wait! Cube is bugged to the point where if you end up stealing the minion for whatever reason, it'll still summon a minion on the person who originally played the card. This card is so bugged and it's so weird, and again, I have an entire other video that I will be talking about with this, but why are we talking about Cube? Because I've been making it my mission to try and find out what are the good Cube decks within Hearthstone right now, because Mage and Paladin and Warlock are still on top right now. Demon Hunter, Hunter, and Shaman have still got like their pretty good decks without a lot of real like meta impact from this mini set. I hate to say it, but this mini set is completely undercooked. It's raw. We actually have a raw mini set, and if Gordon Ramsay was playing Hearthstone right now, he would be making jokes all over the place. But I do have one deck that I want to show you guys that actually can utilize the Cube in one way or another, and it's very similar to a Sludge Warlock in the past. Now I have to give a huge shout out to my stream. There's one person in particular that gave me this deck, and I ended up, playing it for a bit. But if you're someone that really wants to play the Cubicle one way or another, I believe this might be one of the best decks in order to try playing it with. And I have two other decks that I will be posting later on this week talking about, how good is Cube in these particular archetypes. I've got a DK deck and another Warlock deck that I will be posting here pretty soon. But one other thing that we should talk about before we go over this deck in particular is the meta right now, only because, how good is Cube really as a card? Well, I've got some bad news for you. Not only are these the meta relevant decks that you are going to be seeing, 32%, big spell mage, and according to HSReplay, we've got Pirate, Demon Hunter, Big Shaman, Pain Warlock, Hand Buff Paladin, Rainbow Shaman, Elemental Shaman somehow popping up in Legend. That's completely ridiculous, honestly. I feel like as long as you have a good game against Big Spell Mage, you have a good meta relevant deck because 30% of the meta literally is Big Spell Mage. But yeah, what about Cube itself? It's not looking particularly good for the card. Barely in 2% of decks, a 38% win rate, a 32% mulligan win rate, which honestly it's not going to be that played, but only 380 times has this card been played since the release. And let's just compare Skyla. 6,100 times. Granted, you don't have to play this card in order to actually have your deck be good, but you want to know something? Let's see how many Tsunamis have been played. Over 11,000. Compare that to Cube. Yeah, it's not looking good for my favorite Hearthstone card right now. So what happens if we look at the stats for Warlock decks right now? It is Pain Warlock, it is Insanity Warlock. That's about it. The mini set is really not encouraging people to experiment with new cards, albeit there is this new version of of Insanity Warlock that actually manages to use some of these new mini-set cards like the Soul Searching. And I even try to include, Dark Summoner Marrow in particular to figure out if there's any other, of these interesting Warlock decks that people are playing. But let's see if we just put in the Cubicle. It's not looking good for the cube. There's a Mech Warrior that's running around right now that looks actually pretty similar to a deck that I built earlier this season. There's Big Demon Warlock, which is kind of a decent deck. I'm pretty sure this is just the Rarin deck that was played with the one copy of Dirge Dispel. I think there's a way of improving this list, by the way. And then there's Gaia Paladin. 24% win rate after 70 games. I'm sorry, Jiminator, but I am not playing this deck. But here are the decks that people are trying to experiment with Cube. I'm trying my best in order to give you guys, some actual ways of playing this card. But I gotta be honest, I'm so frustrated that I'm actually gonna start streaming Battlegrounds for a week. I'm not quitting Standard, all that stuff, but I am definitely taking a break from this big spell nonsense because I do not want to actually play up against this. So now let's actually talk about the Deathrattle Warlock, Zoo and Goo as I like to refer to it as, because it is all about playing Zoo-like minions, throwing sludges, and then suddenly you have Cubicle and Vona as a great way of sustaining into the late game. So the best cards in this deck actually come from the Summoner Dark Marrow thanks to the Death Knight Taurus cards that you can add into your deck from Perils in Paradise. And one of the best cards to add, honestly, is just the Dreadhound Handler, because this is a perfect card for Zoo. A 2-mana card that has Rush and can immediately impact the board, giving you, the board control. That's something that you really want. Now, another great card in this deck in particular is the Brittlebone Buccaneer, because we are going all in on running Deathrattles, obviously. The whole point of this deck is to not only try to make Cube into a meta-relevant card, albeit it's not very good, you are trying to play Deathrattles and get a bunch of synergy with cards like Disposal Assistant, for example. This is a great example of a Deathrattle that you want to give Reborn, because by itself, if you have the 1/4, you get a Battlecry and a Deathrattle, and then Reborn get another Sludge to the bottom of your deck. So essentially with one Disposal Assistant, you can activate the Waste Remover's full ability and summon 3 Sludges to deal damage onto the board or throw it right to the face. So the Sludge package actually works very well in this deck in particular. And let's say, for example, you have, your Disposal Assistant somehow stick onto the board and you want to play your cube with it, you can really start duplicating those Sludges very simply and very effectively. You still have Sludge on wheels, you still have trolley problems, so this deck still has all of its really good tempo options to just fight for that early game board, while also having cards like Eliza Goreblade in order to enable even more Death Knight cards from the Taurus package. And I think that this is actually a very good utilization of this card, because not only is it a great 4 into 5 with Cube, but you could potentially get double the Deathrattles with Dark Summoner, with Summoner Dark Marrow. And honestly, I'm really thinking about adding a Kraken into this deck at some point, because I think it would be really interesting. But I don't think that this is the particular archetype to put it into, because with Kraken, it's a bit slow and kind of similar to Cube. You really can't get the value from this card unless you are already ahead on the board, or you are doing summoning a 2-drop into this in the same turn. You have to sometimes, combo this card with another card before it can even see any play whatsoever. And it's very sad to me that we're talking about Cube decks and somehow Kraken does not go into any single one of these. But some other cards that find their way into this deck for very specific reasons are actually, new mini set cards. Busy Peon in order to discount your location by 2, so that way you can also run the Horizon's Edge in this deck. It's just a good card. Why would you not want to run this in a Zoo deck? 15 damage, you have lots of little minions, you still have the Dreadhound, so this is just such a good card that I want in this deck. And unfortunately, this deck feels so close to being a meta-relevant deck, to where it's a pretty decent aggro deck, but it's not like Demon Hunter, for example, to where you can really start, pushing the gas by turn 4. This is more of summon a minion, wait for it to do its thing, and then build up some kind of big explosive turn with either a big Pop Guard turn, summoning a bunch of Sludges, having Waste Remover get rid of the board, or somehow being able to get your cube onto the field. And there is a awesome high roll potential with Party Planner Vona, to where if you've taken 8 damage on your turns by either tapping or playing the Elemental Geode, then you can easily get this minion onto the field. And if you have this minion on the field, you can copy it with Cube. There you go, bro. That's a really awesome synergy that I would love to enable to where if you have this 8/8 on the field, suddenly you can start having minions in your hand that can maybe duplicate the 8/8, for example. Now, one thing I do have to let you know, if you do have the Ouroboros onto, like, let's say a Miracle Salesman, for example, if you were to cube that Miracle Salesman, you do not get a copy of it that has the Ouroboros attached to it. Cubicle will only sum back the vanilla minion itself, to where if I have like a 4/4 salesman, for example, if I cube that 4/4 salesman, it will only summon a 2/2. So it doesn't keep enchantments, it just summons the minion like it would be in your collection. But overall, I have to say that I'm not really a fan of this mini set just because it really didn't open up the meta in the way that I really wanted it to. Because we essentially have the exact same meta, but Big Spell Mage is part of it. These new mini set cards really just didn't itch the scratch that I wanted to in terms of deck building, to where if you want to have fun in Hearthstone, most likely if you're just playing the same deck that you had about, 3 days ago, it's probably fine. You really don't need to add a lot of these mini set cards. And I also hate to say that because it's like, you should always buy the mini set with gold, for example, because it's the best value for your buck. But if only one of those cards is meta relevant, then what's even really the point? I think there's a lot of these cards that are actually going to be good in the future, but until something happens with Mage, this mini set has been completely overshadowed by Portalmancer Skyla, and I'm just not happy to play Standard right now. And don't forget, if you do enjoy this kind of content, feel free to like this video, subscribe to the YouTube channel. If anything happens from Battlegrounds it's worth posting a video about, I'll end up doing it. But just to let you guys know, I have like 7 videos planned that aren't just gameplay. It's talking about the bugs, it's talking about some concepts in Hearthstone that I really want to address. And honestly, I think the idea of playing less Hearthstone and talking more about it might be better for our mental health. So if you have an interesting concept for a video, go ahead and leave it in the comments below, because I'll give you guys a hint on my next video. We're going to be talking about the best keyword in all of Hearthstone. Feel free to let me know what you think that keyword might be. But thank you so much for making it to the end of this deck breakdown and this kind of informational update video, and we'll see you for the next one. Playing Reno for fun. I can't believe you people. Hall of Fame Reno and Zilliax now. Zilliax, I don't think it's that bad. Zilliax is actually a good example of sometimes one part of a card can make you crazy. Because it's like, what about all the other parts of Zilliax, all the other bad parts that we don't really mess around with? Like, that's like one way of messing around with like a fun Zilliax. Now granted, Unkill Zilliax is still annoying as all get out. I'm not gonna deny that. But it is insane how like that card going from 8 to 9 did make an impact. Reno going from 8 to 10, it hasn't made any difference. It's still just as frustrating. Yeah, it's slowed down.
It's completely safe.
But the difference between killing a minion and getting lifesteal versus just deleting your deck, no, fuck it, bro. I can't forgive Reno. I refuse. Yo, Archon! Coming in with the 4 months. Good to have you here, man. Thank you for that support, and thank you for reminding me that every single time I complain about Reno, someone else in chat's like, amen, brother! Keep preaching, brother! And guess what, brother? I'm gonna keep preaching. Thank you for that support. Thank you for that encouragement to always bitch about Reno. Always type fuck Reno when Reno gets played in any Twitch chat. And then just like that, maybe he gets Hall of Fame. Is Eliza necessary here? I mean, what exactly does she do? Do we need an additional attack? The way to think about Eliza is that, first of all, you have a lot of like little minions, but it's not just the fact that you can get +1 attack, you can get +2 attack, you can get +3 attack. And getting +1 attack can already be good enough. Like, not even kidding. It can be that good. I need to do this in order to pressure. This will kill here, and we deal 8 to the face. She's there for, yeah, that's another thing. She's also there for cube. Like, it's not, it's the fear that gets instilled into people when a card like that exists. You know what I mean? It's the fear that's the most hilarious to see. Oh my God, wait a minute, pop card. Do we just do that now? Cause that's 8 + 5. I'm gonna just do it, bro. Tempo King. Yeah, it's almost lethal. Location here? My thinking was I can location next turn, and I can get 2 procs with it. And worst case scenario, I also have a Sludge. Like, now I get to clean up the other minions on top of this. Like, isn't this just better? Ah, potential lethal. Don't gaslight me, it's not lethal. Good enough. Now he's sitting at 2. I wonder if this deck just becomes different Sludge Warlocks, so you put in like more cards that are good to discard. Like fracking could maybe be in this deck instead. I hate to say it, but the Fellfire Bonfire and the Travel Security are probably just bait. I feel like Travel Security is okay. Like, see, it's not that bad. Like an additional late game card, I feel like it has potential. If only there was like a better way of cheating it out that wasn't Fellfire Bonfire. Seen my 2 Travel Securities, 2 feels way too slow. I know, but I want it. See, that's the thing that boggles my mind. A 6-minute 2/2 taunt that someone's at 8/8, that's too slow. Good lord, Hearthstone is screwed if that's really the truth. I want to keep Cube because I'm a greedy gamer. But it is just such a bad idea, so we're just gonna go ahead and get rid of it. I didn't know about the Rarn deck. Yeah, someone said Rarn was messing around with Deathrattle Warlock. I have no idea what it means though, because it could be like Deathrattle with like big demons. It could be like a Nimsy deck, for example. It could be an aggro deck. I'm not sure. What's up with the Incendious Druid? I don't really understand the new what new cards enable it. It is the, oh god, what new card just got added? That's really good. The Dalaran brochure. The Dalaran brochure is one of the new cards that's in there. Is it insane? Probably not, but that's what I'm seeing. I think we want to draw instead, right? I don't need the rush. Could save the coin to get rid of with a trolley problem. At the same time, I also have the sludge from this.
Perfect for the crowd.
Rarn also isn't in Legend yet. Currently, Plat 1 currently. Well, I mean, it's still good to look at the list, even if it's not like a meta breaker. It's still good to just kind of like get an idea of what people are experimenting with, because like you can always contextualize why something is getting played. You know what I mean? Like even like for example, someone put Loot Hoarder in this original deck, and it's like, oh, okay, it's just good card draw, you know? And they managed to go like 24-4 with this deck or something like that. It was insane. But you can always contextualize like, oh, I didn't really play this card a whole lot, but it's in the list anyway, you know? So here we go, Eliza game. All right, I found my deck that's gonna make me climb. I found the deck, but I missed one card and can't copy it. What card are you missing? Definitely could be improved on, of course. Trying Deathrattle Warlock now in low legend on like 3,500. Let's see, what else would be worth cutting? I feel like maybe Trolley Problem could be a one of. But at the same time, what are we replacing it for? What other Deathrattles would even be worth running? I don't think I like Nimsy. Like, Nimsy feels omega clunky, right? Because then you also have to run big demons that are just bad to draw. I keep trying this. And damn it, it's gonna work. One of these times it'll work. Just trust me. Okay? It's not gonna be the reason I win, but damn it, is it still gonna be funny? Okay, come on. Just do not kill my 2/4. How many times do I have to tell you this? Do I have to teach you this lesson, old man? Oh, would you look at that? Oh, would you look at that? Would you look at someone in chat who's wrong? Mmm, satisfying. So help me God if this gets transformed somehow. All right, here we go, we'll do this. We got lots of Popcar value coming in next turn.
How does he do it?
Wait, hold on a minute. Why do we have 2 busy peons? I feel like 1 busy peon would be fine, but 2? Ah, yes. My good 8 drops. They didn't really do a whole lot, but man, were they cool. Yeah, travel security too slow? Yeah, probably. Honestly. All right, yeah. So let's take out a busy peon. I know that busy peon is there to gain reborn, but the point that I'm trying to make is that 1 is the sweet spot. Okay, yo, we got the imp. We never keep the imp though. That was the best stream of yours I've seen to this day. Nah. Pipsy Paladin, when we were figuring it out, that was the best stream. 100%, it was that deck. Okay, what is going on here? This is not the list. PhD Warlock, because we are so sophisticated. I wasn't here for that, so I gotta live by. Aw, damn it. Okay, well you really missed out then. You really missed out on the class. The class of that deck was great. Speaking of, I would also argue that the suit stream was one of our better streams recently. Put on a fancy suit, yes. Oh, I want to double the Eliza. Oh, I want to do it. Okay. Feel like I'm not gonna be able to do it though.
Stop and smell the flowers.
Ooh, now that is a good card to duplicate. It might be better to do it this way instead, because then I can double trade and keep this healthy. Yeah. Plus it gives us sticky reborn minions. Okay. Got the sticky reborn minions. Come on, just let my 1/4 survive.
Stay alert, my child. You are merely a pawn.
That I have to deal with. I kind of have to deal with that. 2/4. We don't have enough to deal with this, so we have to play this into this then. Sticky, bro. Dude, this is what I've been craving for the longest time. Is like a Deathrattle board that actually feels like it could make like a swipe, for example. Swipe does something, but it doesn't clear with everything. It doesn't deal with all the problems. Oh, you diabolical! Oh, how dare you! Yo. We could just kill a minion and then just play this. Yeah. If he plays Innervate into Reno, I swear to God, dude. Okay, that's pretty freaking good. Okay. If they Reno your cube, it still summons the minions at the end of each turn. Are you for real? I need proof of that right now. I'm not believing that until I see it. Are you kidding me? The cube doesn't get disappeared and it still keeps summoning things at the end. Oh my God, the spaghetti code is so real. First time chatter. It's another Reno deck, dude. Of course it is. Of course it's another Reno deck. Wait, I think this is lethal. Okay, there is a chance this can miss. If I just hit him in the face, there are 2 sludges. Please kill him. No. Yes! Oh! Okay, so just go for a 2 so we can coin the Buccaneer every single time. I don't think we want to keep the Waste Remover though, because we just want the early game curve. Yeah, good enough. Fighting up against the fellow chatter.
Greetings from the cold dark.
So here's a toss-up. Do we ever play Geode instead of Handler? We got the Voda in hand.
The snake in your face.
Ooh, wait a minute. Nah, we always do this, right? The longer this sticks around, the more likely we are to steamroll this game. Clark needs to get his cube. Reno to test it? Oh, God. Would I even stay around, dude? I think I would concede. I think there would just be a point where I would just end up conceding. I wouldn't stick around for something like that. That sounds terrible. All right, making enough board space just in case. Oh my, come on, man. Well, there's a cube. All right. Just please don't have the tsunami on turn 5. I do have a pretty thick board here, so even if it does come down, maybe I can try to get some cube value going on. What are we cubing here? Do we want to wait on cube? How much damage am I dealt to myself? Only 2. This would be 4. This would be 1 more. I could just kill them with location. The Vona's actually gonna be playable next turn. I might be able to cube the Ouroboros. Okay, hold on a minute, dude. Rogue discovering random spells that clear my board. Hey man, that sounds pretty typical. That sounds like some normal Hearthstone to me if I've ever heard it. Okay, so this has to be a lethal of some kind. Even if it's not, we do have Vona value. Yo, Seville coming in with the raid. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Okay, so, this is another 3. I don't have any wastes at the bottom of my deck, so we'll do this in order to enable this. Do this. Summon the 8/8 as early as we can. And now we chillin'. And now, as long as it doesn't hit the waste remover, we can test some of the. We can test a cube interaction real quick. All right, but yeah, maybe we could test out something. I might be able to test this naturally. Okay, wait a minute. I needed this dead. I didn't trade it. So I have lethal here. Okay, I have lethal here, but I want to test something. Technically have lethal, but we're testing this interaction. Okay, hit this 2/2. All right, so next turn we'll do it. So keep in mind, we already won this game. I'm playing up against a friend, and because I really do not want to set this up against the Innkeeper, we're just doing this now. Okay, so now we're gonna play the Ouroboros minion. We're going to cube it. Okay, hold on. With Dark Marl 2? Oh my god, it's not fair. Okay, so here we go. We get the Ouroboros. Now we're going to end our turn. The cube, will it bring back a minion that summons Ouroboros? That's what we're testing here. If this 2/2 summons an Ouroboros, then this is summoning an actual copy of the minion with the Deathrattle. Although I don't think it's working that way. I don't think it's working that way at all.
My God. I'd be doing Warlock Concrete, the best Hearthstone player.
It does not work that way. It does not work that way. No more worms. Rip. I'm wormless, bro. Damn, that's kind of sad. Okay, so that works the way I thought it was. So it summons the original minion it eats. It doesn't like summon like any enchantments alongside of it. So you know what this means? This means if you eat an amalgam, you don't summon the fancy stats on the amalgam, guys. You just summon the 1/2. I want to keep this, bro. I'm gonna do it. I'm only gonna do it because I'm not gonna answer that question. Oh yes, why don't you come over to my stream and take a look at my hand? I haven't seen anybody with the rag skin yet. There's no one with the premium rag portrait yet. All right, so we're gonna just draw. That's all I really want to do here. More Deathrattle support. Do you ever slot in reverberations? I feel like it would slot in reverb for just because it's a good card, not because it's a Deathrattle support card. Doubling up some cards could maybe be kind of cool or worth it, but overall, We could actually set up the double Goreblade very easily here. So I'm going to Salesman into tap to see just how greedy I can get with this. Maybe we just do this into this and get lucky with a Goreblade, but I like the idea of trying to set it up. I don't know what kind of shaman this is, though. Workhorse. That's not a card I was expecting to see. Imagine if I had a cube ready, dude.
Eyes on the horizon! My dread blades crave blood!
Let's do this instead. More sludges instead. Is this the new Horson? Ordinary Bloodlust Shaman? Battlecry Bloodlust Shaman? I wonder if there's like any kind of gimmick with the battle cries. I will say, Workhorse automatically looking like a better card than I originally gave it credit. Yep, gotta kill the Deathrattle support. Can you make me a minister of emotes so I can put some bangers in for you? Wait, I already have all my emotes though. You already have my emotes. Wait, what? You already have my emotes, bro. Also, value. Nothing gets past my hounds. Fuck it. Bam, bro. Maybe could have traded the Eliza to protect the 2/4, but I don't really feel like I need to protect the 2/4 anymore. I got my value. My 1/1s are now 3/1s, and this is exactly what I'm talking about with Eliza, dude. I do. Yeah, dude, you're literally asking for my emotes as you're sub to this channel. I don't know what you're trying to do here, bro. I don't know what you want to do with my emotes here, but I mean, there's a couple. Like, I know you don't have access to the easy emote because that's something only I have. Oh, 7 TV power. Just tell me what you want to enable and I'll enable it. Oh boy, bro. Imagine if I had a Bloodlust. Oh wait, I literally do. Okay, hold on. This is not looking like Bloodlust. This is not looking like a Bloodlust deck. I think you guys might have lied to me.
Hoist the colors!
That's a lot of damage. All right. Yeah, dude, this actually feels really good. You don't say to your new follower, Pog? Well, hi, Datara. You didn't say anything, so that's why I have so many follow notifications that, like, it would just hurt my voice at this point. It's not because I have a conceited ego or anything like that. I'm the most humble person I know. Good to have you here, man. If you ever have any questions, feel free to let me know. We're pretty chill over here and we're not getting mad at the card game. So this goes here. Sasquatch actually kind of making a difference. But at the same time... No, it's not. You know what? This is actually better. Because I get another attack. Man. Alright, I love Cassandra Gemini, but I can't have that be playing right now. Goes a little too hard. So humble, he streams in a suit? Exactly, dude. Big flex, big ego, plus big dick. See, someone else is saying that about me. So that's how you know it's true. Because why would they be saying that if it wasn't true? Oh, goddamn, bro. Really? Wait, that was right off of... Right off... How many spells in your deck, bro? How many spells? Guess what? Doesn't matter. Ha ha ha. That's still a lot of spells, though. Oh, I don't think he attacked with this. Oh, oh, wait, he couldn't attack with it. Is it lethal? I don't know. Let's find out. You guys think it's lethal? Oh my god, it's one off! Wait, nope, it's enough. It's enough. It's enough. It's enough. It's enough. Okay. Wow, man.